Yo, look, I ain't gonna lie. Yo,
we competition?
Huh?
Saying we competition?
You know what?
No,
Hey, look,
we're not
hey,
going that
y'all
far.
competition because of your fans, right?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
not
And y'all
because
fans always
not
think
because
y'all
y'all beat us with our
competition.
quarterback out. Not
Y'all
just because
no.
the fans for competition. We don't play.
Hey, but hey, look, I don't play either. You know what? The best thing I could do is talk my shit. You know what I mean? And y'all can talk. Hey, this is our game day. You know what I mean? Shit talking is our game day.
4 more months.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get into it here tonight. You know, I want to give the fans a chance to really hear what's going on in NFC East, the best division in football. Like I said, headed by us, Philadelphia Eagles. You know, the champs. Go around, introduce yourselves. We got some people up on here, and then I want you to tell us what's been going on with your team and how do you like your draft. So you can go ahead and go first since you're up here, Commander Tony.
Well, sure. Well, if y'all don't know, I go by Tone Tech, whatever you want to call me. The founder of the PSN Commanders Network. You can go subscribe to my channel. They'll put the link somewhere, whatever. But yeah, our draft was concise, but it was solid. Josh Conley Jr. in the first round, Trey Amos in the second round, Jalen Lane with the 128th pick in the fourth round. We picked up Kane Rodano in the sixth round. We got my boy Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky Merced in the seventh round. 5 picks, but Adam Peters did his stud thistle. Second best GM in the division, behind Mr. Shiesty, that is his Eagle fan like to call him. But yeah, solid off season. Picked up Larry Tunzel and Deebo Samuel. You can count those as draft picks, I guess, as well. We traded draft picks to acquire them. Solid draft class, solid off season. And yeah, man, we ready to rock, man. No more 55s, all right? No more of that.
I liked it when you say the Eagles fights don't know. We got to make that bet again this year.
Oh my God, I don't want to sing that song no more. I don't want to sing it no more. I'm broke singing that shit. Oh my gosh.
All right.
I might have to. Hopefully you don't.
We go down with Dick.
All right, yeah, DU546 is my channel. I do Giants content there, a bunch of film sessions, just reactions to things that are happening, kind of everything over there. And I guess side note, if you drafted anybody, I might have done a film session on them. Can't think of anybody in the division, so maybe not. But I'm happy with this offseason. I feel like we filled a lot of holes. We had Tommy DeVito a couple of months ago. He was the only quarterback on our team. So we went out and got Russ. We got Jameis Winston. Now, I don't think any of those moves, of course, are going to, change the world. But I think both of those guys are probably going to be able to do better in the offense as far as creating explosive plays compared to what we had before. It was a joke what we had there before. So we filled that. We filled up a cornerback spot with the Debo. We brought in Javon Holland, who is going to fill up that safety spot. We really needed a deep safety in the defense that we run. Our front seven is going to be the strength of the defense. We brought in Abdul Carter, 3rd overall pick. Darius Alexander in the 3rd round. We needed that 3-tech next to deck since Leonard Williams has gone over to the Seahawks, I think, 2 years now. So the front seven is going to be deadly. Mostly excited about that. As far as Jackson Dart in the 1st round, I wouldn't say that I was in love with the Jackson Dart, like to the Giants movement, but what we traded up into the 1st round to do, like if our coach loves him, we traded 2 3rd-round picks basically for Jackson Dart. So if he ends up being your franchise quarterback, you gave up 2 3rd-round picks for him. Other than that, I thought we filled some holes with second running back with Scatterbo. Most people know him against Texas. He pretty much took over that game. We brought in a tight end that's really athletic. That used to be a receiver. Coming off 2 ACLs, but he still is moving really well. So I'm really happy with most of the moves we made this offseason, and the moves that I'm not as high on, I think we didn't really give up much to make them happen. So overall, Joe Shane I was a guy who wanted Joe Shane gone a couple of months ago, and he's really had a great offseason in my opinion.
Nice. Let's go, Tuck.
All right, what's up, everybody? Jay Tuck from CFO Sports. I do a lot of Cowboys coverage, but I also do a lot of NFL draft coverage. That's pretty much the thing that I love the most. So, as Diggs was just saying, I do a lot of film breakdowns, a lot of prospects in depth. If you're an Eagles fan watching this channel, I pretty much then broke down your whole damn roster from Quinyon Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, Howie just likes to draft for my film session, so it just is what it is at this point. But overall, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys offseason, they made moves. A lot of the moves they made because they had to. They had 24 players that were unsigned. So a lot of people saying, "Oh, the Cowboys were active in free agency." Well, you had no choice, bro. Like, you had to have a roster. But I feel like personally, we lost a lot of quality guys. Jordan Lewis, Chauncey Golston, who went to the Giants, I believe, that the Giants picked up. We lost Marcus Lawrence to Seattle. Zach Martin retired, so you kind of had those core guys kind of fade out. So we brought in some guys, not really needle movers. Javonte Williams, running back from the Broncos, y'all guy Miles Sanders. We'll see if he still has a little bit left in the tank on week 1 in his revenge game. So overall, like after the offseason free agency acquisitions, I was still mad on the Cowboys roster. But the draft was perfectly executed. Now, the draft was executed not from the standpoint of being a big needle mover. It wasn't the Jalen Carter or the Jordan Davis type draft, right? But when you look at the draft board, how it fell to the Cowboys once Mac went to the Carolina Panthers to get Tyler Booker, phenomenal guard out of Alabama, has tremendous upside, plays with a lot of strength, could definitely improve us in the run game, also in the passing game. And then the second round was Donovan Ezekaraku out of Boston College, who's a guy I thought he was going to Philly. I was telling everybody when I was sitting there at the draft, like, yo, this is who's probably going to go to Philly. It's going to be scary, right? But 17 sacks at Boston College, disruptive edge rusher. He's kind of like a Temu version of Micah Parsons. And I felt like it was a situation where he just kind of failed to us, and Cowboys was like, shit, I'll grab him. Like, we really don't have a need for him because we just brought in back Dante Fowler. We drafted Marshawn Nealon last year, also Sam Williams, both second-round picks, but it was just like too good to pass up on. And then we also had Siobhan Revel in the third round, who was a corner, and arguably if it wasn't for the ACL injury, he would have probably been the best corner in the draft outside of Travis Hunter, of course. So from a value standpoint, they were able to kind of get a good core 3. Then they got Jadon Blue, streaky running back out of Texas, has some fumbling issues, but he's explosive. Phil Maffa, the list kind of goes on and on. So, after the draft originally, I had us marked like an A-, but I was sitting in the gym one morning and all of a sudden my phone started going crazy. I'm like, what is going on? And I jumped off my treadmill, picked up my phone, and saw the Dallas Cowboys have just traded for George Pickens, and it was go time. It was time to mask up. And now the vibe in Dallas has completely changed because wide receiver 2 was a position that we didn't address. Now to add George Pickens opposite of CeeDee Lamb, this is where the fun really begins. There's still some pieces, but I'm excited. A lot of Cowboys fans are excited to see what this new look offense is going to be like, because now we have what y'all have in Philly and even what y'all have in Washington, a wide receiver duo. It wasn't just it was just CeeDee Lamb and them, but now we have a duo, and I think a lot of Cowboys fans are able to excited to see what's going to happen and transpire with Dak Prescott and his offense. So overall, good offseason. It's a little bit different because George Pickens doesn't fit our mold. I think that's why a lot of Cowboys fans were kind of shocked by it. I think we were going for a Bateman out of Baltimore, and that kind of backfired, and Baltimore said nah. So Stephen Jones, who's ultra conservative, signed off on this dog, and y'all got some Georgia dogs, but we got that ultimate dog right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all fits in Dallas. So overall, good offseason, much better than years prior.
Yeah, for sure.
R0B.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? R0B, partner with the Giants Talk podcast. And you can also find me. I upload my own Giants content, just R0B on YouTube as well. I'm really excited. And I would say for the first time in a while, very optimistic about the Giants going into this season. It's been a milk chocolatey clusterfuck, to say the least, over the last 3 years, and that's putting it lightly. And like Diggs said, I was done with Joe Shane. I was done with Brian Dable. I said, you know what, just get him out and restart. And I'm looking at this number 1 overall pick, and man, it was beautiful. And they do what they always do. They fucking blow it. And they beat a Indianapolis Colts team that was in the playoff hunt, mind you, but just forgot to play defense. Couldn't tackle. Malik Neighbors was looking like an absolute Megatron, Optimus Prime, whatever you want to call him, and that game just completely went off, and the rest is history. When they decided to bring them back, it was okay. Let's see what happens. It's like whatever, John. You brought him back, but then you shit on him in your press conference. You're not sure if the roster is any good. So what is it, Johnny? What is it? Johnny be good? Whatever. I don't know. But to Joe Shane's credit, hell of an off season, absolute hell of an off season. I think with Tyler Nubin is a guy that I think plays good as far as like a nickel in the box type of safety. And he wasn't necessarily playing in his position last year. And I think Jason Pinnock was kind of a mirror or a duplicate of what he was. And I really wanted us to go and get a over-the-top safety that can play sideline to sideline and cover deep. Trayvon Morig was a guy that I really wanted. Love his young talent. Thought it was going to be really good. Ended up signing early. Forgot where he went. He might have went to Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Or somebody.
He went to Carolina.
Okay. And so we ended up getting Javon Holland, which to me was the next best guy up. Who's the next man up? Love Javon Holland. Love the passion he plays with. Can play sideline to sideline. Can play up in the box. Can come off the edge. He can cover the running backs. He can cover the tight ends. He can basically do it all. Reminds me a lot of Antrell Roll and his versatility on the defensive side of the football and his leadership. So that's somebody that I'm really excited that we got. Jay Tuck brought up, Chauncey Golston. We've been struggling on the defensive line for the last couple of years. They didn't take not one defensive lineman last year in last year's draft. And to bring in a guy like Chauncey Golston, who's a versatile player, can play the 3-tech, 5-tech, can play the edge, got a lot of playing time last year with D-Law going down and Micah going down for some time, and made the most of his opportunities. Really shined, picked off JD5. I'm sure doesn't like him, but that's nor here nor there. Sorry about that tone, but I had to throw that in there. But I love his versatility. Has a really, really high motor, very good against the run. And what I loved and what he said in his interviews was, if I get blocked by a tight end, I shouldn't be playing football. And gotcha. I hope Kayvon Thibodeau was listening, because Kayvon be getting blocked by them tight ends. Paulson Adebo, bringing him in, that was a guy, that again questions due to some injuries and stuff like that with his broken leg, but he's doing backflips, he's running on treadmills, looks to be okay. So I'm glad that we brought him in, and I think we got him for a reasonable price. And then you added in a couple of other guys, in free agency. So overall free agency, I was happy. And then the draft. I mean, you get Abdul Carter. I'm not going to say he's a Timo Micah Parsons, but he might be the great value or just as good. Who knows? But I'm really, wasn't the biggest component on bringing in, Carter. I really wanted the quarterback at 3. Obviously, it didn't work out that way, and they brought Carter in. But listening to him, seeing his interviews, watching his film, he is a absolute amazing athlete, playing off ball, playing edge. He can do it all, and his mindset is absolutely insane. He got, somebody told him, you gotta, the Giants can be good in the future. He said, why not right now? Like, we don't have dogs like that kind of killer mentality. We don't have that on the Giants. So you pair him up with, with Dexter Lawrence, with Burns, with Kayvon, it's going to be nasty. They got Darius Leonard in the draft, Cam Scattaboo, and then they traded up, got, Jackson Dart in the first round. I wasn't big on passing on Shador for Dart or for Milrow, but as the draft was progressing and you start hearing all of these rumors and these things that transpired in the meetings and everything like that, I'm glad that they passed. He clearly needed a reality check. He might have thought that his shit didn't stink, and he should have definitely approached things differently. His dad should have properly prepared him better, and he didn't. So I think he's in a good situation right now. He's with a good coach in Cleveland, and I'm happy with Jackson Dart. Listening to his interviews, the way he talks, his mindset, his mentality, the way he approaches everything. The day before rookie minicamp, he's getting all of the offensive guys together and wanting to make sure that everybody's got everything down packed before they step on the practice field. We haven't had something like that with that kind of mentality. Overall, I think I'd give for the offseason, I give him an A-. I give him an A-. I think the Giants did a really good job. I definitely think defensively, we've closed the gap in this division with adding the pieces that we have with Darius Alexander, with Golston, with drafting Carter, fixing the secondary. I think he can definitely, if Shane Bowen can do what he needs to do, I think it'll be an exciting defense to watch. Offensively, still got some questions. You obviously have Malik Neighbors. Gabe Davis is coming in for a visit from Chicago. Got some familiarity with Brian Dable. He's no George Pickens. He's no A.J. Brown, but he's a good quality guy that I think you can add to the room, alongside with Malik Neighbors and Slayton and Wandale Robinson, and we'll see what Danger Russ is able to do. So I'm excited and I have a lot of optimism coming into the season.
Nice. And we got Big Simple just hopped up in there. What up, Simple? How you been, my guy?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
What up?
That ain't lagging a little bit on my side, probably. Is it lagging?
What would it do, Simple?
You're good.
What's up, yeah? Pro chat. Wait a minute. This ain't. Yeah, this is tripping.
Underwater, man.
Yeah,
Underwater.
It is tripping.
Yeah, you get the T-Move internet. I see.
Yeah, like that stadium.
Hold up.
Well, while Simple trying to get up, go ahead, JC. Talk about our offseason. How you feeling about it? Let them know.
Look, I love our offseason, man. I know everybody is saying, hey, the Eagles lost a lot on defense. As far as Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Slay, and Chauncey Gardner. But like, to tell you the truth, man, the Eagles have been preparing for this. Like, your Slay been in and out the like throughout the whole season. Like, sometimes, man, I'm like, wait, is Slay out? I didn't even know he was out, because the Philadelphia Eagles have depth, right? They had Rodgers, they had Rango, right? They had Rick, so they had young corners behind Slay. So to me, that's not a big loss as far as production wise, but maybe leadership wise, right? Because Slay was loved all across the fan base, man. He was the comedian, in that locker room, man. His wife, very cool person. But as far as his production goes, man, he has lost a step, right? In Philadelphia, man, like, there's one thing about Howie, he never hold on to you too long. He lets you go right on top when everybody's saying, oh, keep him. He lets you go. And 9 times out of 10, he's proved correctly. Even with Carson Wentz, since Carson Wentz been out of Philly, I haven't heard nothing out of him, right? So as far as Slay, but Chauncey Gardner, to me, that was, I want to say a business decision, but I'm not really sure, right? I'm not, in the locker room or like in the media like that. So I don't know what went on, but the way Chauncey said it, how we came and talked to him and said, hey, we got a lot of young guys to pay, Carter, Davis, Dean later on. So, hey, we're going to trade you, just let you know, hey, just let us know what team you at least want to go to. So we're not going to try to, send you to the, like the Jets or something. So, but they worked that out. He got traded to the Texans. But Milton Williams and Josh Sweat, to me, the Philadelphia Eagles have so much depth on that defensive line, man. You got Booker. Yeah, Moro Jomo.
Right.
I mean, yo, like there's so, and then they went out into free agency, like and picked up, what Ajori, right, from the Giants, right? They got Uche. I mean, all they do is bring in guys that are on approved deals, that's hungry, that's out to, like basically underdogs, right? So that's what happened to Philadelphia Eagles. As far as the offense, man, we didn't lose nobody on the offense. Yeah, a Beckham, yeah, you know what? Hey, he's gonna be a big loss, but as long as you got Jeff Stoutland, man, it's almost like a plug and play, at that guard position. Like and Steen been there for a few years, so I think he's ready to step in. But as far as the draft went, I mean, to have, in my opinion, one of the top two linebackers in college football,
Yeah,
falls to you as a defending Super Bowl champion at 31, right? Of course, they traded with Kansas City, because somebody might have, try to jump up and grab them. But to have that type of talent, I mean, this dude could rush. He's like, he could drop back and passing. The Philadelphia Eagles defense could really be a 3-4 type of defense under Vic Fangio. And Vic Fangio, man, like this dude, he will play to the player's strength. And I mean, Jahad Campbell, like, don't be surprised if healthy, he might be in the runs for defense rookie of the year. That's how good he is. No. He's everywhere on the field. I mean, he might be taking Dean's job. So, but to get him at 31 and then to get a safety and a Makuba, out of Texas. I mean, a mini Chauncey Gardner with the attitude, physicality. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles have got better, but we have to see because reps does matter, right? Because like Chauncey Gardner, big play Slade, there was part of that defense from 2 years ago. But definitely, man, I love every move that the Philadelphia Eagles did. And Howie Roseman, look, he got paid Carter, Davis, maybe Dean. I mean, a Mitchell in a couple years, Cooper DeJean in a couple years. I mean, we are stacked with first-round talent that we have to pay. So we can't feel sorry for those guys that, that help us win the Super Bowl, man. It's a business decision, nothing personal. So I'm not mad about no move that Howie Roseman did, man. Look, and Howie we trust, he has earned our trust as Eagle fans. And he came a long way, and he has earned our trust as Eagle fans, just to see the vision. But as far as our offseason, man, I give it an A-. You know what I mean? But I think that we are in prime position because we only lost like really two players, Slay and Chauncey. Because a rush is a rush, right? I mean, you're going to get your techniques, especially the guys we had on the defensive line that did produce in the Super Bowl already. So they are coming back. So you're really adding a corner and a safety because Dean, if he's healthy, he will start back, or Trouter. And Trouter, he's still there. He played. So, like, we got a lot of continuity coming back on defense. It's just a couple positions that we got to see, okay, who's going to win that position, right? Adoree Jackson, he's a veteran. He came to the Philadelphia Eagles, right, from the Giants. We wanted him a few years ago before he went to the Giants. It seems like everybody goes to the Giants go to die. Like, you know what I mean? We resurrect.
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy. Relax.
Bad, man.
All right, relax. Hey, calm it down. It's a new time. It's a new era. It's a new time, okay?
Hey, James Bradbury, right? He came to us, man, all pro, Pro Bowl. So I'm not sleeping on Adoree Jackson. Possibly could be a guy that beat out Rango. But it's a good problem to have, Rango, Adoree Jackson, Mick Williams that we drafted. So it's a good problem we have on as that second corner. Our slot corner is locked up with Cooper DeJean, you know what I mean? Hey, Super Bowl guy. So we're pretty good on the defensive side. We just got to, see if we could come back together even stronger with second year under Vic Fangio.
Yeah, that's right, man. I think we're solid, man. I think before the draft, before free agency, we were solid. Like we returned so many starters, like you said. We got 10 out of 11 starters on offense coming back. And that was the force that was driving that no one could stop last year. How do you stop Saquon? How do you stop the best receiving duo in the league? Like, these guys are out there. They're all pros. They're Pro Bowlers. They're superstars. You know what I'm saying? So having Jalen Hurts lead the way, I was very confident about that. The defense, like you said, most people were replaceable. We had people in line to replace it, actually put out some talent last year. You've seen Jalen Hunt get a couple of sacks in the playoffs. You've seen even big Jordan Davis get a couple of sacks in the playoffs. You know, you got Jalen Carter, who's very destructive. And so I already seen the pieces in play. Like, Howie's like 1 year ahead of everybody else. I feel like he's already the things at the end of the season you might be thinking about. What if he's answered that question the year before? I think he continued to do that, and that's what makes him one of the best GMs in football. But hey, let me call it. You know, my boy Chris Sims got to say something about that.
The Eagles are, I would say, the most well-built, well-orchestrated football team maybe we've seen this century. Okay, that's the first thing. I mean, this is like no weakness anywhere. It's the best offensive line in football. It's the best D-line in football. It's the best running back in football. It's maybe the best duo of receivers in football, right? It's a damn good quarterback in Jalen Hurts. The secondary's young but super talented.
See what I'm saying? Everywhere
we don't claim Chris Sims any longer. Okay, I'm just
Giants fan. I mean,
listen, Chris. I'll give you everything. There ain't no shot your defensive line is better. You ain't got no sexy dad. I don't give a shit about Carter. Fuck Carter. Okay.
What?
He ain't no Dexter Lawrence. Fuck Carter. He ain't no Dexter Lawrence. He ain't no Dexter.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey, listen.
I thought it was hilarious.
Hold on. And Tuck is here. Ask that Cowboys offensive line. Are they triple teaming Carter? No. Who they triple teaming? Sexy Dexy. That's who they triple teaming.
I mean, my name's Ben, and I'm not in it. But if there's anyone who I feel is more of a threat, is Jalen Carter. But I'm a huge Jalen Carter fan.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Thank you.
Because of his versatility.
I'm picking one of you. I'm picking Dexter Lawrence. I'm sorry.
You could pick up Jalen Carter and move him to a 5 or a wide 9 and be disruptive. He doesn't have to play in the interior. So off that versus, that's what I keep trying to tell Cowboys fans and warn them about. I know it was like, oh, Tyler Booker versus Jalen Carter. I'm like, Vic Fangio is no idiot. He's probably going to line Jalen Carter over Tyler Guyton's weak ass and go to work.
Jalen Carter is not going to struggle with Tyler Booker.
I'm saying he's going to move him. He's probably going to move him around. You know what I'm saying? So with that versatility alone, Jalen Carter. But I mean, Dexter Lawrence is a beast. But if there's anyone that me personally have to scheme for, keeps me up at night, it would be Jalen Carter over Dexter Lawrence.
Go back last year and watch Dexter Lawrence at the 4. I'm telling you.
So,
bro, listen.
Dexter Lawrence is not, he's built different.
Bro, listen.
The dude is 340 and moving like a defense.
He's built different, but he's not as disruptive as Jalen. Like, Jalen Carter can impact the game at multiple levels. You see what I'm saying?
When Dexter Lawrence went down, I think he had
9 sacks in 12
games. He had like 9 sacks in 12 games. He was on pace. To have 16 sacks as a nose tackle. That's never been done at that rate.
He's not even the scariest on y'all defense no more, bro. It's Abdul Carter's defense.
That's my point.
Dexter Lawrence now, bro.
But that was my point.
I think we like 5 or 6 months away from the season. We too far away from the season. I think you forgot about Dexter Lawrence. I think you forgot about him.
That's why I said
know Dexter Lawrence is good, but you ask the Cowboys guys, like, he doesn't keep me up.
That's why I said when it comes to the defensive line and I know Darius hasn't taken a snap yet. I know Abdul Carter hasn't taken a snap yet. I get all that. But when you just look at it on paper, Alexander, you go watch his tape from Toledo, crazy athletic dude. He's a scary dude. He's a scary dude. You got Darius, you got Golston, you got Dext, you got Carter, you got Kayvon, you got Burns. That's nasty business. That's nasty work. So that's why I give us the edge.
Another thing too, right? Another thing, real quick, right? All right. So you name all those guys, but at the same time, do the Giants have the offensive line to stop a Jalen Carter, a Nolan Smith, a Jordan Davis compared to the Philadelphia Eagles? Because a good offensive line could neutralize, you know what I mean, some of those guys that you just mentioned, and they could be like nowhere to be found. Like you saw throughout the season how the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line was, you know, gelling together, how the defensive line was coming along, especially in the Super Bowl, to be able to get 5, 6 sacks on Patrick Mahomes with 4 guys only. To get 4 guys, like no help, no blitz, no help at all. You know what I mean? So that's another thing too, you know? So go ahead.
You know, Dexter Lawrence sacked Jalen Hurts 3 times in one game, right?
Look, I know Sexy Dex. Look, I'm just saying, look, Jalen Carter is going into
I'm just saying, Jurgens'
3rd year right now, and he's being mentioned on being the best.
How
long has Dex been in the league?
He made Jurgens. He made Jurgens. Listen, bro. He made Jurgens look like a little puny human being. Okay, I mean, Landon Dickerson. Okay. I like Landon Dickerson.
Okay.
That's a nasty white boy. Okay,
how long has he been in the league?
That's over here. Oh.
Come on now.
How long Dex been in the league?
This is like what? His 5th year, 6th year now.
Jalen Carter is going to his 3rd year, All Pro last year. He putting the fear of God and grown ass.
But the problem,
he's stepping guys to concussion protocol.
If we're talking long term, right? Carter's still a young player. He's going into his 3rd year. He's got a lot of potential, and yeah, he could probably definitely surpass Dexter Lawrence with some of these guys. He's got the talent. I'm just talking about right now, today, right now. Dexter Lawrence.
I'm taking Dexter.
I've never seen anybody like Dexter Lawrence in my life. I'm telling you. I mean, I didn't even think the Eagles fans thought that. I'm crazy, but I didn't even think the Eagles fans thought that Jalen Carter was better than Dex. I just didn't even think that, because what you get from I'm tripping. What's the dude, the big defensive tackle for the Bucks that?
Vita Vea.
What you get from Vita Vea is Dexter Lawrence, except he's moving like a guy that's 240. Like I haven't seen an answer for Dex. I'm gonna tell you what the answer for Dexter Lawrence was: Jason Kelsey. That's it. That's the only person I've ever seen block Dexter Lawrence. The dude gets doubled and tripled almost every single play. The only reason we're so excited about Carter is because of Dexter Lawrence. Like I haven't seen somebody like Dexter Lawrence.
So there was a stat that just came out. It was like this week. Well, it not just came out, but people started talking about within the last week or whatever. Dexter Lawrence was the most double-teamed nose tackle or defensive lineman in the NFL last year. The percentage was astronomical. At the amount that he was there. And to Dick's point, when you're double teaming something like that, that's again, I'm not 100% bought in with Shane Bowen yet. He frustrated me last year. So I don't know, but you're going to have a lot of one-on-one situations because you can't double team everybody. So to answer your question, JC, yeah, you guys got a stellar offensive line. It's the best in the league. Hands down, it's the best in the league. That man Lane Johnson needs to get some more false start calls, okay, when he be kicking out that leg. But it's the best offensive line. So I think it's going to be at bare minimum. I'm looking for those, Michael Strahan, John Runyon battles. I'm looking for those type of, Ed Too Tall, and all that. I'm looking for those fights in the trenches. This division in a whole, when you think about it, there's been some great defensive linemen from Hugh Douglas, Corey Simon, now Jalen Carter. You got Jay Ratliff that played for the Cowboys, who was a great defensive player. Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck. There's always been good trenches. Sorry, Tone. Really, I can't really remember anybody. Albert Haynesworth, but he was overpaid. But he doesn't really count. But you had guys like Andre Carter, stuff like that were some good players. This has always been a trenches division. That you dominate in the trench. It's always been that way. It's always.
I would say Ryan Kerrigan, but you forgot about.
Yeah, my bad. And Brian Arakpo. You're right. My
fault. I'll forget my sack leader in franchise history. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, guys. So I'm saying next question, since you got this whole who's the best even. How do you feel your off season have brought you closer to? Do you guys feel like you guys closed the gap? to the
You know what
division
I'll say? You know
the
what I'll
Eagles.
say about the gap? Like, and I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I'm not gonna come in here and lie. Like, I used to be the Giants have taken a part of my fandom away. I used to be the crazy Giants fan who always was gonna say we win every week. But as far as the gap, I feel like this was the season that we should close the gap. But every other team in the division all of a sudden is good. When we finally get a great offseason, every other team in the division that was already ahead of us had a great offseason. Yeah. So that's my frustrated. I really feel like as far as the pass rush, that's going to help some things. But other than that, I can't really say that we've closed the gap.
Okay. You feel like you closed the gap at least to the Cowboys, since Cowboys are third place, right? Giants was fourth, right? Cowboys are third.
The Cowboys, I was really thinking about that second receiver. I was like, the second receiver is what keeps us in those games a lot of times with Dak and the Cowboys. It's really about how Dak plays, how he bounces back. It's really about that for the Cowboys, because if Dak is looking like the Dak that was in like second or third in MVP, then, you know, we haven't closed the gap, because even if we get a rush on him, he's getting rid of the ball quick.
Yeah.
But if he's playing like, you know, if he's playing like he's played at other times in his career, and the defense in Dallas kind of implodes, then yeah, we might have closed the gap there. But as far as the two teams that was in the NFC Championship, I mean, I'm an LSU fan. JD5 is my guy, and I mean, until we get a quarterback that I feel like can step toe-to-toe with JD5, or a quarterback that can step toe-to-toe with the Eagles' defensive line and their squad in general, I can't really say we've closed the gap. Because, like, an elite quarterback and an elite defense, if your quarterback can't outduel that quarterback or play well against that defense, you really can't close the gap.
I think when you're looking at to answer this question, you really truthfully got to be honest about the other teams in your division. You can't really have any bias. And with all due respect, like, nobody thought the Commanders, even Commanders fans, didn't think that they were going to be at the conference championship game, right? Like, if a Commanders fan would have been like, "Oh, we're going to the conference championship game," some people would have been like crazy. The thing is, when you hit on the quarterback, that's what matters, right? You hit on, and I said, you know, with last year when I was talking in my Giant spaces and whatever, I said Dan Quinn is going to have that defense, not great, but a lot better than they played the prior year. And that's what they did. He brought in some guys, Armstrong, guys that he was familiar with, and they looked better. I think when it comes down to the gap, I do think that we are even, minus the quarterback position. But I think that, again, to Dig's point with the pass rush, maybe you can neutralize a guy like JD5. I think that we're on par with the Commanders. For me, Commanders got a lot of contributions last year from older players like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, like, where you can't count on that constantly being the case. Now, JD5 is a great player. He had a great season last year, and he's got a bright future. But I want to see what he does in year two, because teams are going to play him differently. Teams are going to approach him differently. Teams are going to scheme for him differently. How is he going to respond, right? I think when it comes to Dallas, Dak is Dak. He's always good in the regular season. The problem that I've always felt with Dallas is that we give Dak all the fucking time in the world in the pocket, and he just kills us. He just absolutely kills us. And we really haven't had any type of physicality on the outside. Now, I know Lamb lines up in the slot. He lines up outside. I'm looking forward to seeing what those battles are going to be between Debo and Lamb when they're at next.
Oh man, he froze.
I guess he froze. So if I get it right, did he say he closed the gap? He closed the gap so much that he leapfrogged the Cowboys and went.
Dang.
Something like that, man. But I'll go ahead and say,
Did you close the gap on the Commanders or the Eagles?
it might sound strange saying this on the Eagles channel, but y'all are not the target, right? I know that's what you guys want to hear is that, oh, the Eagles are the target and that we're aiming for to beat the Eagles. That's not the case when it comes to Dallas Cowboys because, one, we have familiarity when it comes to our division. As long as Dak Prescott is up, standing straight, and you guys have Jalen Hurts, those games have been very competitive between the two, right? I think when it comes from the Cowboys standpoint is being able to put it together on a consistent basis. I think that is our biggest problem, our biggest frustration, and that's why we haven't gotten to the level that the Commanders are able to get to, or also the Eagles have gotten to winning a Super Bowl. So, from a talent perspective, I mean, on paper, the Eagles are the Eagles and shit. No one's going to catch them the way that Howie maneuvers, right? But I feel like our aiming point should be, are we able to go out there and beat the Eagles and then turn around and beat Green Bay and then turn around and beat Detroit and beat San Francisco and make a play in the playoffs? That's the target that we were aiming for. And as of right now, I personally don't think that we're there. I mean, splitting with Philly, okay, cool story, bro. I mean, hell, we beat the Commanders with Cooper Rush, and Trey Lance was about to pack them boys up until they set Jayden Daniels. So I'm not really concerned about a division. Of course, you want to win the division to get to the playoffs, right? But I just think that with familiarity, because even like when our game versus the Giants, when we're fully healthy, like if Malik Neighbors doesn't get that concussion and drop that ball, they might have beat the Cowboys. So it's like, when it's divisional, it's all there, right? But I think for the Cowboys, the target should be aiming higher. And I think that this year, when it comes to our schedule, we're really going to be tested, right? We're going to have to play Pat Mahomes. You guys have seen that monster in Pat Mahomes numerous times, so you were able to adapt. We haven't seen it. So I feel like once we see that monster, it's going to be like, oh, shit, we're not there, right? see the Detroit Lions as well. Detroit came back and so it's like that is what I'm personally aiming for, like beating the Packers, beating those people. And I think that's what the Eagles have done that the Cowboys haven't, because when you go through the course of a 17-game season, you're able to out talent people. And I feel like from the Cowboys perspective, it's been either Dak Prescott is on or we lose. And I just don't feel like as of right now, we have still built a team where if Dak is off, he can give the ball to Javonte Williams 25 times and we can win the game. I don't think we're there yet. So if you want to say, have we closed the gap from a Super Bowl aspect? Absolutely not. But as far as the division, I feel like it's all intertwined, because I can see the Giants mess around and clip a lot of us right now on the stream. And because it's just familiarity. Like if me and JC play Madden 15 times, he's going to know my playbook. He's going to know all the stuff I like to do. It's like, we know when the tush push is coming. We know when Jalen Hurts is about to run the RPO. It's just about execution. But when you have to play those teams, like for instance, the Broncos, right? We haven't beat the Broncos since the 90s. And it's just like, okay, so what is happening every time we play the Broncos where we're unfamiliar? It gets cold up there in the and we get our ass beat. Same thing with even the Arizona Cardinals. We haven't beat them. So it's just being able to do things on a consistent basis when it comes to the Cowboys. That's our biggest issue. I feel like talent, I mean, are we as talented as we were in the past? I would probably say not, but that's not my focal point. It's being able to finally string consistent wins and beat quality teams, right? Beat the Mahomeses, beat the Josh Allens, beat the Lamar Jacksons, beat the Jalen Hurts. Like that's what we need to start stacking on our resume. But as far as just staying afloat in the division, big whoop to me.
So basically, you're saying you want to be the Eagles.
I mean, I can't knock y'all. I mean, the way that y'all move it's set the new standard, right? And I felt like, and Cowboys fans have been getting mad at me for saying this, I felt like seeing you guys win the Super Bowl, if that didn't light a fire under Jerry and Stephen Jones, nothing would. And they still haven't. I mean, they kind of did it, you know what I'm saying? But that, I mean, it just is what it is. But yeah, I mean, you can't knock the Eagles and how they put together this team. Now, one, like you said, Howie had to step it up a little bit. Why? Because Howie can get fired. We don't have that luxury in Dallas. Our GM is our owner. Do something if you want to, right? But the way that the Eagles execute in the draft, it's a damn masterpiece. Like JC was saying, Jahad Camp, I was just sitting there at the podium like, y'all's gonna let Jahad Campbell just fall to him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna do shit about this? Just like last year, they just let Quinyon Mitchell just fall to the Eagles and then let them trade up and get Cooper DeJean, and then Jordan Davis falls to him, and then Jalen Carter slide because the off the like y'all not even making the Eagles have to work for this shit no more, bro. They sit in the back of the draft and got arguably the third best defensive player in the draft, and then they went and got Andrew Mukba, safety out of Texas, who I had as my number 2 safety in the whole class. So it's just like, goddamn, so it's like, just like Chris Sims was saying, I think that's the thing about when it comes to the Eagles, they don't really have a lot of holes to exploit. And when they have a hole, they know that Howie Roseman's going to do everything in his power to plug it up and fix it. In Dallas, we got to make t-shirts. We got to have hashtags. We got to get a wide receiver too. I mean, I was so exhausted just to get us a wide. I wasn't even asking for the big one like Pickens. I was asking for like a Keenan Allen or some shit, or just to bring like somebody, right? So we have to just scream and yell from the mountaintops for the Cowboys to plug simple things. But when it comes to the Eagles, if y'all need a linebacker, y'all don't have to say much. Howie's going to go get it for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, I hate y'all for being spoiled, because this is how we used to act when we used to win shit like this. We just don't do it. So right now, everyone knows the Cowboys need a one tech. There's one tech matters and winter coming, all these hashtags, and we got shirts and shit all over social media trying to tell the Cowboys we need a defensive tackle, when everybody on this podium just said the NFC East is one of the trenches. But for some reason, we're just like, oh, we're fine, and we're going to run Mozzie's ass out there. And when he's getting double teamed and blown out, we're going to say, okay, what's wrong with us? Why can't we stop the run? Because you don't have a one tech, which we all told you back in May. Hell, we've been telling you since March. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's the frustrating part when it comes to Cowboys. But the only thing that keeps us afloat, which is sad because they treat them like shit, is that makeup brush and Dak Prescott. Like, we are a really ugly team, y'all. But Dak Prescott is that Instagram film. You know, y'all remember when girls used to put the little mouse ears on themselves on Instagram and shit, make themselves like, that's what Dak Prescott is for the Dallas Cowboys. Really not that cute when you look at us, but they put that Dak Prescott filter on it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, they beat a few teams. You know what I'm saying? We look more better than what we really are. So, you know, we'll see how that all unfolds. Sorry, Cowboys Nation, for telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be selling opioids and we them boys 17-0 and all that shit, but you know what I'm saying? It's just sad. I mean, think about how crazy Cowboys fans are going for George Pickens. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a blockbuster name, but we are just so excited they actually did some shit. We're just through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's all we needed. I'm done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's buying tickets and buying merch because we just addressed a big ass hole that we all knew we had since last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how things are in Dallas now.
Y'all feel like the last 20 years have been dealing with it with Dak and Romo. Like, people acting like Romo is a horrible quarterback. People acting like Dak is a horrible, like.
Yeah, Dak's wide receivers was CeeDee Lamb, who we all knew, Jalen Tolbert, who y'all couldn't pick out of a lineup. We traded a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo, who hasn't scored a touchdown in his NFL career. We also had Jalen Brooks, who y'all probably don't know, Paris Campbell, and Cavante Turpin from the UFL.
What about Brandon Cooks?
I hate to say it,
I hate to say
it. Cowboys could be under the radar, man. They could be under
Amari Cooper. You had Amari Cooper.
I mean, but we let him go for a 5th round pick, and y'all know who we got back for Amari Cooper? Probably don't even know. No one in this panel probably knows who we got back in that trade.
Who?
Matt Walesko. Never heard of him.
I don't know who's
that guy.
Exactly.
Who's that guy? Who's that dude? Who's that guy?
He was a left tackle that we got, and he played probably one game. That was it.
My conclusion, and I don't mean to like whatever, but when it comes to the Cowboys, I get confused about their process with the team. Now, from the draft perspective, 70% of your roster is all built through the draft. So you guys do a good job, you know, bringing in talent. But it's like, it's the contracts, man. Like, giving Amari Cooper $100 million before they paid Dak, and they tagged Dak twice when they could have signed him. Now they give him this obscene money, $60 million a year, and then they just paid CeeDee Lamb. But now you got Micah that's going to be coming up on a contract. Like, and that to me is, I'm sure they'll probably get something done. But Micah is he's a spiteful son of a bitch. Like, and he doesn't hold back. He does not hold back, and he'll say, like, he was making fun of Tyler Booker when he got drafted, like that face, that, like, you know, whatever. So it's like, where do you see overall the team going financially? Like, are they going to be able to get something done with Micah, or are some of these big time guys that they sign? I know Martin retired, you know, obviously Smith is gone. Like, is it going to be a teardown at some point in time in these next year or two if they don't do something?
We have a 3-year window. That's why I was telling everybody. I think everyone got all pissy with me when I was talking about Arch Manning, like, in 2027. Like, yo, we got 3 years of Dak Prescott for this shit to work. And if not, they have it out. They can get out his contract for $48 million towards the dead cap. But think about this, right? Dak Prescott was in the same draft as who? Jared Goff, also Carson Wentz. The Eagles had moved on for Carson Wentz, right? Rams moved on from Jared Goff. But the reason why the Cowboys wasn't able to possibly do that with Dak Prescott, like you mentioned, RZ, they franchise tagged him twice, and they wanted to do it damn near a third time, right? So they kept pushing the money back on a quarterback who was a 4th-round pick, y'all. You could have signed Dak for probably $18 million for 5 years, and he would have said, thank you, Mr. Jones. You know, but what was they doing instead? They was paying Zeke, and they was paying linebackers. They was paying all these random people. Soon as they decided, hey, we moving on from Romo and Dak's the guy, they should have signed him for the low. So once again, here we are again. People are like, why are they paying Dak all that money? Because they push these contracts back and they restructure and restructure and restructure. It's just not smart. But I think the Cowboys will be able to sign our players. But let's go to it again. Who do we trade back with to get Micah Parsons? We traded back with Philly to get Micah Parsons. They took Devontae Smith. We took Micah Parsons. When was Devontae Smith signed and got his deal?
Last year.
Last year. So why is the Eagles able to be proactive and get this deal done when it comes to Smitty, but for Micah, we're gonna drag this thing out? Right?
I have a theory. Yeah. I have a theory on that. I think Jerry Jones just wants that to be in the news. I 100% just think that Jerry Jones likes the coverage.
Yeah, I mean he does, you know, but it's like, from a football POV, it hurts, right? Because, you know, once again, hell, we signed Dak week 1 right before we kicked off versus the Browns. Like, that's crazy, right? CeeDee Lamb had to hold out. Zach Martin had to hold out. Micah says he's not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You know, it's just like, why do you have to go through all that just to get your money in Dallas? You know, it's like, I feel like the Cowboys, from an ego standpoint, they want to win the negotiation. You know what I'm saying? They want to make you earn it. They want to make you squeal for it for some weird reason, versus saying, bro, I've been an all-pro since the moment I touched the field. I was a linebacker who never played defensive end. You tossed me out there, and I started blowing up. This is your fault, you know? Yeah. But it's like, okay, Dave Mujeta, who never heard of him before. When you have 13 players, you have the same damn agent. So it's always these little games that gets in the way, and this is why we can't get back to this level that Philly just got back from, and where the Commanders are at, because their ownership stays out of the way. You know, when we saw that video of Magic Johnson after the Commanders went to the NFC Championship, like, hey man, don't focus on us, focus on those guys in the locker room. Y'all know damn well. Yeah. Oh, Jerry would have dropped a damn mixtape if the Dallas Cowboys were going to the, you know, videos, all sorts of stuff. So it's like, it's those distractions, you know, like, even from losing our coaches this year and Mike McCarthy, like, you're losing a coach over the differences of contract terms. There's no cap on contracts when it comes to coaches, bro. Like, so what is a 4-year deal or a 6-year deal? Just get the deal done if you wanted them, you know, but they didn't do it. You know, so they didn't get the chance to interview Aaron Glenn's and Ben Johnson's. They were scrambling last minute. They thought they were going to get Kellen. Kellen said, nah, hell no, I'm going to New Orleans. And so it's just like, well, shit, who we got? What about Schottenheimer upstairs? Well, I can ask him to coach. You know what I'm saying? He'll be excited to take it. And I guarantee none of you at gunpoint can tell me how much money Brian Schottenheimer got signed for. It's still not available.
Hell no, no. I can't tell you. Hell no.
Because you got him for the low. If you've been coaching for 17, 18 years and never got a head coaching opportunity, and Jerry Jones says, hey, you want to coach the Cowboys? You're not negotiating. You just happy to take it.
That's one thing of what you were saying, Tuck.
I mean, I got a bag of potato chips and a water. What he signed for.
Yeah. And of course, what he say in his opening press conference, Jerry Jones is the best football mind I ever been around, and he's the smartest guy. And I mean, you just pouring out the glaze, bro, because you so happy to be here. And that's what the Cowboys like to lean on. They don't want the best of the best, they want the desperate. So if I say Jerry says, know what, we going this route. And Sean, what are you going to say, bro? This is your first job, and we give you this opportunity. Just stay over there for a little bit. We got this because I'm the football mind, remember? So it's just like, I don't know. That's the big.
And to what you were saying, Tug, that's why I envy the Eagles to the extent of the way that Howie has handled the structure of the team. Right, you gave Wentz the contract. And then a couple of years in, you draft Jalen Hurts in the second round. He has an MVP season, whatever, plays another year, and then you move over. And then you go with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had an okay, first start, right? That was his second year. Had an okay, took him to the playoffs. They got beat, by Tom Brady and the Bucs, who ended up going and winning the Super Bowl. But the following year, he set him up perfectly, right? They had two first-round picks. They traded for AJ. It was basically, the way I look at it is, Jalen, either you show me something or you're out. And they could have packaged some picks up, moved up, and drafted another quarterback. And the rest is history. They ended up going to the Super Bowl. He damn near outperformed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So at that point, you went over that. Then they signed him to the contract. And those first 2 years, he was getting paid less than Daniel Jones. He got $13 million his first year. His second year was like 21.5 or something like that. Daniel Jones was getting fucking $20 million his first year, and then $40 million his second year. And he hadn't done a damn thing. What? He beat the Vikings, right? But it's the structure. It's the structure. You can let go of Hassan Reddick. Okay, you know what? We're going to take Nolan Smith. You get some luck, some players dropping to you in the draft, whatever. You do it, right? But even this year, they were trying to trade up to 23 with the Rams to get Jahad Campbell. The Packers. Excuse me. It was the Packers. The Packers said no. Good. Tell Howie no. Some more people need to do that. Tell Howie no. Hang up the phone.
Peter told him no too.
But they ended up getting the player that they wanted at 32, at 31. They moved up one spot, with Kansas City. But the point is it's that structure. You got to be able to move off of players when you need to. And it's been at the Eagles' benefit. They've just been able to draft BPA every single draft, and it pays off. It pays off.
And you'll never hear Howie say that Jalen Hurts has to learn how to do more with less. That's a Jerry Jones quote. He said it last year that Dak Prescott has to learn how to do more. Who does that to your NFL quarterback?
Exactly. That's like Giants fans talk. After the 2022 season, when the
people think we joking, beat. Bro. Like he literally said, he said it last year. He's like, Dak got the money. He's gonna have to learn how to do more with less.
Exactly.
So the Giants fans who hate Dak, they buy into that. Yeah, he's going because he was greedy. Like what do you mean?
Bro,
we has to roll out there with unknown wide receivers and make it work, and y'all wonder why.
Bro,
that's not the case.
We had Giants fans saying, and this was after the 2022 season, being compared to the Cowboys. Oh, Jalen Hurts, he's got a Maserati over there in Philadelphia. Daniel Jones,
got a Bentley over there.
He got a Prius. We need and whatever. I'm like,
you don't got a.
Wait a second. I'm like, so wait a minute. Don't you want the Maserati? You had those same people that said that. Oh my God, Travis Hunter. We need a wide receiver too. Fuck you mean? You want the Maserati? You just said all of that shit last year, but 2 years ago. Now you want Travis? We just drafted Malik Neighbors. You want Travis Hunter? Now you need a wide receiver too. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. The good quarterbacks. It's not about like what you said, what Jerry said, because Jerry's an idiot. That your quarterback's got to do more with less. It just happens that way. It just happens that way. Look at what Josh Allen did this year. Everybody thought that offense was going to be dog shit. They were the highest scoring offense in the National Football League with nobody. Who did they get?
Whoa. What did they have? Who had 17 touchdowns?
Cooks.
James Cook had 17 touchdowns.
Yeah, how many rushing touchdowns the Dallas Cowboys starting running back had?
8.
2.
2?
Oh my gosh.
You know,
All
how
that
the,
shit?
you know how the Eagles just
All
won a Super
of it
Bowl?
asked you. Rico Dowdle had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Damn.
Oh
That
my
was
god.
embarrassing that Rico Dowdle was even playing for y'all.
Hey, Saquon
See,
could have
yeah.
like 26 and we didn't have to push to.
Gotta do more with less. You know what I'm saying?
But listen,
it's
the
like,
Giants
you look-
did the same thing.
that we did, but
You
now
know how,
look
you
at-
know
look
how the
at-
Eagles just won the Super Bowl? Because Joe Shane said $40 million quarterbacks don't need to turn around and hand the ball off to $15 million running backs.
No, but he needs to hand it off to a fucking $6 million back in Devin Singletary. You know that got benched after 6 weeks for Tyrone Tracy.
For a
It's
fifth
like,
round pick.
but it's like, dude,
Solid,
I
though.
just wish, like, when you look at the team, like, I'm not big on Deebo Samuel. I think he's going like this, but he don't have to be the main guy in Washington.
There you
know,
go.
like, Terry. Listen, Terry needs to start getting. I hate Washington. I don't hate him as much as I hate Dallas and Philly, but I hate Washington more because of specific reasons right now. Certain Giants fans that were LSU fans that became Washington fans because of Jaden Daniels because he went to LSU.
I love it.
But Terry,
I love it.
Terry's been good. Terry's been solid. Look at the quarterbacks that Terry McLaurin has been dealing with in Washington, and the dude's been putting up numbers. Now Debo don't gotta be the number one guy. Terry's the number one guy. Debo can eat over the middle, and so, but they got their wide receiver too. You guys just got yours in Dallas. We know about fucking the Twin Towers in fucking Philadelphia. Those two motherfuckers. we know them well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen. If one of them got hurt, I mean, it's sad. I wouldn't be upset. I would, you never wish injury, but
John Dotson. Don't worry about
even
that.
Dotson, but even Dotson went to Philly and did good.
Philly unique right now.
on,
They
they do
have
a daggone
multiple
thing.
ways to
Can you
win.
stop that, please?
Right? It doesn't have to. If Jalen Hurts has an off night, Saquon can go for 147 and 3 touchdowns. Or let's say
for
Saquon
real.
has an off night, like this kind of like the Super Bowl, right? Then you have Smitty and AJ Brown. Well, let's say AJ Brown and Smitty's having an off night. Well, then you got Dallas Goedert kind of going crazy. And let's say the offense is struggling. Now you have the defense getting picked. So like you're covered on all bases. It doesn't have to be Jalen Hurts or else.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Jalen Hurts had to go out there and orchestrate it, right? Just don't mess it up. You know what I'm saying? That's all he had to do was just not go mess it up. It was not that much pressure.
Yeah.
But for the Cowboys, I guarantee you, if Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, I ask y'all, if Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb's not beating y'all, who's going to beat y'all?
That's
Nobody.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We got to hope Miles Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Cowboys fans be hoping it up.
Listen, with Jalen, if y'all remember back in like 1998 with the Denver Broncos, John Elway got hurt, and they had a quarterback by the name of Bubby Brister, who came in to play some time when John went down. Tuck probably knows who Bubby Brister is. And Shannon Sharp went to Bubby Brister and said, Bubby, this here is a Ferrari. All you got to do is keep it in third gear. Don't grind out the gears.
Right.
And we're going to operate. And we're going to run just fine. And that's all he did. And they won games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is Jalen, I'm not trying to say Jalen is whatever. He's a good quarterback. He's a very, very good quarterback. He wins. At the end of the day, it's about winning. And he can just operate. He don't got to throw the ball 45 times. He don't got to run the ball 20 times. He just has to do what it is. And Diggy, I don't know if you were in the Twitter spaces. You know I do them all day long. I was saying before the season started, I said it. People laughed at me. I said Saquon Barkley is going to break 2,000 yards. I said he will be in the MVP conversation. I said he will break it. What happened? That man broke 2,000 yards. He ran for 2,000 yards, and he was, I think, third in the voting for MVP or second.
And why did Howie go get Saquon Barkley? because just like us, Philadelphia was tired of getting punched in the mouth by the San Francisco 49ers and Christian McCaffrey. So you know what? I got some shit for that. Okay, let's even the playing field, right? But Dallas, crazy ass, we'll just run it back and continue to get punched and punch and punch and punch and beat on. But finally, Howie said, "Nah, okay, I see what's going on because the San Francisco 49ers is running through both of us, right? Let's see if we get our Christian McCaffrey and let's even the scoreboard, right? And things just drastically change. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, that's the frustration when it comes to Cowboys. We'll just go out there. All right, we got punched in the mouth with Tony Pollard. Let's try to punch him with Rico Dowdle. Like, no, bro, like you keep getting worse weapons. In the San Francisco, you keep wondering why you keep losing in San Francisco.
Was Rico Dowdle y'all playing going into the season?
What the hell y'all doing that running back, man? Rico Dowdle, bro.
I was like, was he the plan going into the season?
It was him and Ezekiel Elliott, right? I mean, I made videos out the wazoo about Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, Nick. I mean, the list goes on and on. I broke down every running back in last year's draft class, from Braylon Allen to Bucky Irvin, like 14 of them. We passed on every last one of them. And why did we pass on them? Is because Jerry Jones, against Mike McCarthy's wishes, wanted to bring Ezekiel Elliott back. So he brought Ezekiel Elliott back. It was Rico Dowdle, Ezekiel Elliott, and Dalvin Cook.
And got you two
touchdowns.
Had
two rushing touchdowns.
You had that short guy too, didn't you?
And Deuce Vaughn, who was inactive. Deuce Vaughn was inactive. So yeah, two rushing touchdowns from our starting running back. Two.
Best running back in football.
Dalvin Cook was cooked.
Dalvin Cook played one game, and he was on practice squad the entire time.
Oh, let's let Commander talk about the day closing gap, because we haven't heard anything from them. We have been letting these guys sit back. Big Simple, since you haven't said anything, have you guys closed the gaps to the Philadelphia Eagles with your offseason?
Close the gap? Well,
yeah.
I think we I don't know about closing the gap with the Philadelphia Eagles, but for us, it's just strictly getting better week by week, because last year, man, it was amazing. It was amazing. Nobody suspected, Washington to make it to, the NFC Championship game. I think nobody didn't suspect that. So it's big. I'm not going to say it closed the gap, but for us right now, it's week by week, and it's all for it, man. I don't care if it's Dallas, Eagles, Giants. It can be anybody. Chiefs, it don't matter. This year is strictly all about taking it game by game and see if we can get back to where we need to be. That's all it is to it. I'm not worried about the Eagles. I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I'm strictly all about getting to where we need to be. That's all it is to it.
That's every division here. That's all you guys. So, as an Eagle fan, I'm going to say that have anybody in our division close the gap. And I would say that I really like the moves, that all the teams, you guys all upgraded a little bit better, but I just feel like the team as a whole, like we're a complete football team. Our next level is not to worry about anything but getting better, like you guys, same as you guys, but our getting better is, like you said earlier, consistently beating the good teams. We beat all the good teams, the Mahomes, the Allen, all these guys over and over again. Last year was the first year we swept the division except for Washington, right? We split with Washington, but we should even sweep those guys. So can we be consistent again this year? And really, because we got a harder schedule than we had last year. I think the 5th hardest schedule in the league this year. Can we do it? 4th hardest schedule in the league this year.
The Giants got number 1 though.
Yeah, the Giants got number 1. I feel bad for those
guys. That's great.
But I'm just saying, like, can we continue and be that dominant team? You've seen, teams that want to be dynasties, teams that want to be like legendary. They do it consistently year in, year out. Since Jalen Hurts been a starter, we made it to the playoffs. 4 straight years, 2 Super Bowls. 1 lost 1. And can he continue to keep grinding, continue to keep getting better? And this harder schedule, can we do exactly what we did last year to this upcoming season is what I think that's really the goal for the Eagles. Can you consistently do it so you can really put your name out there? Because I think winning another Super Bowl, I know you guys like to talk about the 5 Super Bowls and all that stuff.
Wait, who on the panel got 5? Who on the panel got 5? Oh, my bad. Oh, go ahead, my bad.
But if you want, like, I tell everybody, I always say this: if you gonna make me go back 30-something years for your 5 Super Bowls, we're gonna keep going back 60 years, and we got 5 championships.
Go back as far as you want to go,
like,
fella.
Go back as
far as you go. Those don't count.
Sometimes I forget. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Hey, but
What you talking about?
Listen, hold on. But at the end of the day, this division has the most amount of championships out of any other division in football.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Because
the NFC beast is back.
Content creator in 2020, we was all called the NFC least. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny how things change. But I'll say this quickly because I got to dip here in a second because the kids are starting to get here. But I'll say this: what you were saying, BG. When I covered the Super Bowl and was around the Philadelphia Eagles, the moment I said, "Oh shit," there was a confidence and a presence that came around this team. Like, they just knew they had the Chiefs. It wasn't that sense of nervousness. Like, they were just free-spirited. Even Nick Sirianni at the podium, like, he was very chill. Jordan Davis was running around doing interviews and stuff and, talking to Jalen Hurts. Like, they felt confident. And I remember I got back to the hotel room. I was like, y'all, they about to win this shit. They're going to win it. They're really about to, you know what I'm saying? So, so I just think that having seen that monster, like I said, and Pat Mahomes before, and even though that y'all lost it, it's like, okay, y'all really should have won that game. And then to have the safety net of Saquon Barkley and just feeling like, okay, we are supremely the more talented team. And of course, you guys went to Arrowhead and already beat them. So there was no sense of nervousness when it came to the Super Bowl, man. So, it just is what it is, man. But
Tuck, before we get out of here, give me your breakdown. What you think the division is going to shape up this year? Do you see a repeat championship by the Eagles, or give me a 1, 2, 3, 4? How do you think the division?
No, I'm taking the field, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking with it. I know a lot of people get mad when I do that, but it's like it's been no repeat, so I'm taking the field versus Philly. If I had to gauge it, I would probably say Washington to win it. But I haven't looked at everyone's schedules yet. But I'd probably say Washington, Philly, Dallas, Giants as of right now. So, but I was the one. Salute to my dog Rio, but I was the one who said Washington was going to be a playoff team, and everyone last year was like, "Oh, you tripping, Tuck? Ain't no way." But I know what Dan Quinn is. I knew what Jaden Daniels was, and I also knew what some of the Cowboys players that y'all plucked away from. I was like, they're going to build something special, and it's going to happen quick. But everyone's like calling me crazy. But I was like, you know what? And I like y'all draft class, and I really like Ben Sinnett, your tight end. I think he's only going to be helped by getting Debo. So if I had to lean, I would probably take Washington to win the division, but it's going to be a tight race. It's going to be a tight race as long as you don't have any injuries. But I feel like this year you won't see Washington kind of get off to that slow start, but watch out for the Giants though, too. Because I feel like wherever route they go at quarterback, whether it's Russ or my dog Jameis, you know what I'm saying? I like Jameis. He, you know what I'm saying? He's going to air that thing out, go 50 touchdowns and 50 interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
30, baby.
But I feel like with their defense, as Diggs and RB just already said, they're going to be solid. You add Abdul Carter. I feel like Malik Neighbors is going to go up a notch. I like their secondary, so I feel like the race is going to be tight when it comes to the NFC East. And the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, it sounds crazy, but we're the underdogs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we got the brand new coach who's never coached a day in his life before as a head coach. Our offensive line is all young. You know, we got rookie right guard replacing Zach Martin. Our left tackle, who that's going to be, we do not know. I already mentioned our running back core. Who knows? Our linebackers, you can't pick them out of a lineup. Mozzie Smith's going to be our anchor in the interior. Trayvon Diggs is probably going to start this season on PUP. You know what I'm saying? So we got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? We really got nothing to lose. So I really hope the Dallas Cowboys really own in on this underdog role because, of course, y'all know once we start winning, then things would change, right? As soon as if we beat Philly week 1, then it's going to be like, oh, the Cowboys Super Bowl. It's going to be all the pressure, right? But really embrace that underdog role because Vegas only has the Cowboys winning 7 games this year. So
yeah, that's why for me with the Giants. Oh, go ahead. It's my bad.
Yeah. About that, man. how do it feel when you, because we've been in that position where, like underrated. It's kind of, you just, in that circle where, you pop out of nowhere, and Dallas this year, they going to be under the radar a lot this year.
It's different for us because we never get it. Because we never get it, Sid, because even though we were third in the division and had our offseason, JC over here was foaming at the mouth to play us week 1. So everyone gets up to play Dallas regardless. You see what I'm saying? So we really don't get to fly under the radar a lot. But I'll say this. If you look about like our season last year when Dak Prescott went down, all of a sudden we started beating Tampa and, we beat Washington, we beat the Commanders, you know what I'm saying? And then we should have beat the Bengals, who were like, we were beating all these quality teams with Cooper Rush and Micah Parsons was out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was that happen? Well, there was no pressure. There was no expectations where all Cowboys fans was like, yo, chill, lose. Like, I was getting ready to do Travis Hunter film breakdowns and all. And these guys started running kickoffs back and everything and winning meaningless ball games fighting for Mike McCarthy. So I just felt like once they're kind of in that situation where you don't have all these shadows and clouds and this and that, that's what the Cowboys are their best. But a 3-game win streak can now drastically change. But so yeah, I mean, I'm embracing being an underdog, you know what I'm saying? Because we're always the hunted. Now we get to hunt a little bit. So
look, I disagree.
Man, because I think in the division it's a different style.
I think in the division, man, I disagree because the Dallas Cowboys have a 3rd place schedule. All right. So they are set up to actually be a lot better than people think, especially on the offensive side. Yes, Dak Prescott got hurt last year, but with the full off season, with Pickens, with Lamb, you know what I mean, with your offensive line, you know what I mean, that y'all rebuilt throughout the, either re-sign or drafted. And y'all do have Javonte Williams right there.
You still our 3rd place schedule, bro?
I mean, it's
not no 3rd place schedule.
It's a 3rd place schedule for real.
It ain't no 3rd place schedule, dog. We got Kansas City.
Okay.
We got outside the division, Kansas City. We got Green Bay. We got the Vikings. We got Detroit. Like Chicago. Like, bro, this is not a 3rd place schedule. The only game where I'll probably be able to kick my feet up and relax is Carolina. And that's me.
Our division facing some tough opponents this year.
Well, we got some killers on that schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Is back.
I mean, the Chargers.
This is why
we haven't beat the Broncos since the 90s. Kyler Murray owns us. Like, this is I missed the Daniel Jones and you know what I'm saying, and the Heineke days where I got at least 4 games to get a little bye weekend and rest a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, our schedule is cut there. I mean, it's going to be a splash of water tomorrow because a lot of Cowboys fans haven't been listening to me. Once they see that shit lined up, where it might mess around and be Philly week 1 and then Detroit or Green Bay at home week 2, it's going to be like, all right, bro, because our schedule is.
This is why, like, for me, like, I've been telling Giants fans, they were like, oh, I don't want to, I've been asking for the Commanders, to start week 1. And I've been like, I've wanted that. I've been calling that for a couple months. Whichever, even if it was like against Philadelphia or, we always open up against Dallas, like for the majority of the time. But they're like, oh no, I'll take the Saints. Carr just retired, or I'll take the Raiders. Like, no, like I don't want no cheap win the first couple of weeks and then go and play a divisional matchup or a good team and get trounced. Like, I want to know what this team is gonna like, the type of mentality and the type of team this team is going to be with. So you know what? Go up against a team like Washington. Week 1, just went to the conference championship game. And if you beat them, I'm not saying that we will or whatever. I'm saying, but if you beat them, okay, that sets the tone for the season and how you win, the fight, the grit, the type of mentality you're going to have. I like this. The thing with the Giants, I think that Russell Wilson, although he's 36, he's nowhere near what he was back in 2014, 2015, like that Russell Wilson. But what he is, he's a guy that's going to make sure each and every person on that offense knows what they're doing. He's going to bring leadership. He's going to bring a mentality and a preparation to this team that he's learned over the course of his career, that he's done over the course of his career. He's going to get these people bought in. He's going to get these people ready to go. Daniel Jones, with all due respect to him, yeah, you can work hard. You can be the first one in, last one out. But I mean, that only goes so far. You don't got no pedigree, bro. You ain't got nothing to base it off of. Russell Wilson is the guy that steps into this building, automatically has players' respect because of what he's done in the league. It'd be the same if Dak came here, be the same if Jalen came here, be the same with all that. So I think that, and when you look at Russ this past year, people want to shit on him and say at the end of the year, he kind of fell off. He really didn't. He really didn't. The Steelers just couldn't run the ball well, and he was just trying to, it just happened the way that it happened. I think you get a good running game, you get a solid defense. He's going to have some weapons to throw to. I'm not saying, I think for right now the Giants' floor is like 6 or 7 wins. I say the ceiling is probably like 10.
Well, RB, I'll say we tried that easy schedule shit last year and it backfired. We came out and blew out the Browns, and then week 2, we got moonwalked on by Derek Carr, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought so like, you know what? Let's load it. Let's load it up. Let's go Philly, Detroit, Kansas City. Let's just get straight to
all
it.
in a row.
Yeah, let's just get
bang,
to it.
Bang.
Do the heavy hitters. You got to
get it out of the way. Remember last year?
I ain't gonna hold you. Lions fans crying. So
I remember last year when the schedule came out, I didn't really want to go against the Packers week 1 at first. I was just like, let's ease into the system. Jalen, new coordinator, let's kind of ease into it. But then, like you guys said, it is good to go ahead and play a playoff team right off the jump. Kind of test your team skills, test where they're at in the beginning, because you see all the nonsense. We don't really even have a preseason basically anymore. It's all bullshit. Everybody's doing they're joint practicing, and that's doing way more than any preseason game. So I don't know why they have the preseason. Then they shorten it down to 3. So it's like, let them get in there, go against a quality opponent, because that other quality opponent too, they got to play us. You know what I'm saying? We're a good team too. So it's good just to see the good matchups week 1. And I think everybody should probably want to go. And then guess what? You got them out of the way. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about, well, for us, we play you twice a year. So at least we get one of the games out of the way. But with Green Bay, it's like we got them out of the way early before they can catch their stride, before they can get on pace, and start racking up some wins. So I don't know. I see it both ways though.
Right. Hey, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me. I got to dip real quick, man. Take care of the kiddos, man. But I appreciate y'all for having me.
Thanks, Chuck. We definitely I want to do something with you week 1 on one.
Yeah, we'll do it. I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll definitely lock you in, man, week 1. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hopefully we get some defensive tackles and some cornerbacks by then. But I appreciate y'all. Keep rocking, man. Salute to the whole.
Tell Booby I said what's up in Dallas.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm undecided, man. I might pop up and show up in Philly right now at the lake. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. I'm going, goddamn. The first game of the season, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I might pull up on y'all, man. But appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing.
Take it easy, J Tuck.
All right, y'all.
No doubt. Have a blessed one, man.
All right, guys. Yeah. So, we didn't get from you, Protect. What do you think about the Commanders closing the gap?
Honestly speaking, I think we slightly closed the gap a bit. I think the lines are comparable. Y'all got the best line of football, but we ain't that far away. Outside of that, outside the offensive line, we ain't closed no gaps. The only difference between us and the rest of the teams in the division, all you guys have a pass rush. Cowboys got Donovan Ezeraku and Michael Parsons, and y'all got Nolan Smith and them boys and Jalen Carter and all that good jazz. Then the Giants got 5 dudes that can go get 10 sacks possibly, and we don't got nobody. We don't got a soul.
All your first round picks you guys had on that line,
they're all gone.
I got Payne and Allen.
Montez Sweat got traded. His Young got traded, and Jonathan Allen got cut. So there's only Deron Payne left. But I think overall though, outside of Jalen Hurts, this is the second. I'm sorry,
I got Fowler.
I think we had the most talented quarterback in the division, but Jalen Hurts is give him respect. Give respect. Respect is given when it's due. So you know what I'm saying. We got a top 5 quarterback in the league right now, and I think we'll be ready to go. I don't fear no team. I fear God, man. If you ain't God, I don't fear you. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a fun division. The NFC Beast.
That's it.
It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a fun division. I think we're the tightest race out any division in football. I think every team finishes.
Give us your breakdown. Who's gonna win the division this year, and who's gonna come in second and third and fourth?
I'll give you my. I got the Eagles repeating the division champions. They're the most talented team in the division. I'm sorry. Simple. Commanders fans, I'm sorry. Sorry. Now, I don't have any team winning 12 games in this division, though. So I got the Eagles at 12-5. I got Commanders at 11-6.
Oh, dang.
I got the Cowboys at 9-8, and I got the Giants at a weird record. It's been kind of funny. This only happened one time since we got 17 games. It's 500. I got 8-1.
Whoa!
For the New York Giants. Every team finished at 500 or better.
Damn.
Wow.
No team with 12 wins?
No team in the division will win.
We've been 14-3.
You're gonna beat each other up. This division gonna be tough.
We've been 14-3. 2 out of the last 3 years, my guy.
No.
Winning 12 games, losing no goddamn 5 games.
All I'm asking for out of the division really is 4-2 or 3-3. If we get something out of that, I'd be okay with that. You feel me? I'm not looking for no sweep. But if people be nice,
I got a Philly split. I got a Cowboy split. Giant fans, I'm sorry, I got a sweep. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's how I got it.
That was cute, Protect. But everybody's getting swept in the division this year.
Here we go.
What the hell? We almost did it last year, and since we didn't do it last year, we're gonna do it again we're gonna do it this year for sure. We got the second year of Big Fangio. Our offense is dynamite. None of y'all can touch our stuff. We're too hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even worried about the division. I think we already should get a division championship sent to Philly early because
stop
that. How about this? Listen, you guys got that fight, so we made a bet last time. If the Commanders,
I don't want to sing that song no more.
If the Commanders beat the Eagles,
sure. You win the division, I'll sing the stupid song again. Sure.
Hey, I got a question for
I'll do it right this time.
All right, look, I got a question for the Giants real quick. All right, so we know for a fact that the biggest problem within the division on the defensive side for a lot of teams was they couldn't stop the run, right? Commanders could not stop the run. Cowboys couldn't stop the run. The Giants, I don't know where y'all finished in the ranking as far as run stopping, but did y'all get better on defense to be able to stop the run? Because that is the bread and butter for the Philadelphia Eagles that could actually make us repeat as the division champ is to go through the run. Of course, you got your AJ and Smitty. Our offense is going to change a little bit with the new offensive coordinator, but for the most part, Barkley is still going to be here. Jalen Hurts is still going to be there. Has the run defense improved? Because if they haven't, then this division could be won again just by running the ball. And once in a while, throwing, to our wide receivers.
I mean, as far as the run, the Giants were horrible. They were horrible against the run. They've been horrible against the run the last 2 or 3 years, and that's because when Dexter Lawrence comes off the field, they just run right at him. And then we got edges that usually can't set the edge. So we have some issues there. Now, we did bring in Carter, but I don't think he's going to really help against the run. But maybe that's going to empower a guy like Thibodeau and Golston and those guys to set the edge. We did bring in Alexander. We brought in Roy Robertson Harris. We brought in Ledbetter. So I think as far as up the middle, I think we're going to be solid. But the edges I'm still concerned about. I like our 2 linebackers, but Okereke is kind of playing out of position at this point in this defense because him and Wink's defense, he was just able to kind of be shielded by that defensive line and just be free to attack. But now we have 2 guys that I just don't like the way they play to run in this defense. So I think on paper we should be much better against the run, and we should be in games as far as going back and forth with the Eagles because that line is so good. But they have to do it. I mean, I can't really say they've done it until I see it on paper.
Facts.
Yeah, because I think, look, I mean, stopping the run is a key, man. Like, I mean, this division, we're gonna see the Cowboys week one.
Pacers. Woo! Sorry about that. That's my
Yeah,
team.
the Pacers won, but yes, like the bread and butter for the Philadelphia Eagles is the ground and pound, right? Especially with Barkley, man. Every time you got a guy like Barkley, I mean, there's no Yep. Yeah. Hey, that man better know his name, right? Because he did a 18 touchdown.
I had the clip on here. Did I save it? What is this?
Eagles extended Dallas.
That's not that one.
I didn't have it on here. Never mind.
How does it feel as
They got
Washington
Saquon
fans? How does it feel as Commander fans for Saquon to leave the Giants and then end up on the Eagles?
On the Commanders fan side of things, I was sick. I ain't gonna hold you. I want to go down 95, not go up 95, or further down 95. Not stop there.
I wanted that brother to go somewhere else. Far away.
I want to put some Brady and gold on. I mean, he is from Pennsylvania. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? I've been someone that was born in Pennsylvania myself. I understood. I understood it was what it was. You want to be near this kid? Can't hate it. I want to congratulate it. He's a Super Bowl champion now. Happy for him. I'm a Penn State fan, so pardon me. Still got some love for Saquon, but he's an op. I can't love him so much.
He wearing the wrong
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. He's a Super Bowl champion. Yeah. Got the recognition he deserves. Happy for Saquon.
So how does it? So as a Penn State fan, how does it feel to know that you got to go up against Saquon, Micah, and Abdul in the same division?
It's thick as my soul.
And Miles Sanders. Put some respect on Sanders.
We'll give him.
Yeah, Booby can spin.
You gotta give him awesome Miles Sanders.
Booby can spin.
If that was Eagles Miles Sanders, we could talk. This Miles Sanders, no, we don't care.
That's how I feel going up against Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
All right, so let me give my division order because I really think that the Philadelphia Eagles could be the first team to repeat. We should have, look, if it wasn't for that collapse, we would have literally won the division 3 straight times.
Yeah.
Like literally, that stupid collapse that happened, the 6 games, all right, boom. But I feel like that we are built to repeat. And I feel like second year under Vic Fangio and this defense, do not expect him to bring exact same defense back that he did last year. He will have some wrinkles in it. So I really feel like that the Philadelphia Eagles will repeat. All right. But the second, I'm telling you right now, the Commanders to me last year was fluky. Like, I'm sorry. Hey, that season to me, that game that they be winning was a little fluky. And they had a bad schedule. They did not beat no team. Hold on, Big Simple. It's my turn. And then
My turn.
One team.
My turn.
500 until Jalen Hurts got hurt when we had whatever. But every team 500 they lost to. Every bad team they beat until they got to the playoffs. I get it. But with that being said, the way they was winning these games is not sustainable. The defense did not really improve. So, and the schedule is getting harder. So I really feel like that they're going to take a step back. Look, I really had the Dallas Cowboys, man. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, they did enough. I'm not big. I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but they did enough this offseason with the healthy Dak Prescott, right? With the pressure now on, with Pickens, with Lamb, with what's their the tight end? What Ferguson?
Jake Ferguson.
Like, and they look, and I think this year they're going to be at least more dedicated to running the ball. That's why they went out and drafted that offensive line, and they re-signed their own players. So I really feel like that the Dallas Cowboys might beat the sleeper team this year, like the Commanders was last year. The Commanders, look, the expectation for y'all is AFC Championship. It's not a wild card no more because y'all apparently overachieved last year, and now that's why y'all schedule is the way it is. You know what I mean? So, and then I got the Commanders coming in, and then the Giants because like the Giants to me, the offense is not the defense I'm really worrying about. It's the offense. Who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be the running back? I mean, how good is your offensive line going to be, able to protect whoever is is the quarterback back there. So that's the only reason why. But defense-wise, all across the board, I think has improved a little bit. But as far as the order, I think the Cowboys is going to be a sneaky team, man. Like, I promise you, a sneaky team.
So you said we were fluky, right? Oh, I got a question, Jason. Hold on. I got a quick question, Jason. You said fluky, right?
Fluky.
So you can't give our quarterback credit for having
no.
You want touch?
Your quarterback wasn't the problem. It's the way y'all were winning these games. Like these last second, a team fumbled here or boom.
Wasn't touch, though.
But the way y'all was winning this game is unsustainable, right? And every time y'all play good teams,
in December, that was I'll give you that. The game we won in December, all those last
season, even against the Giants,
we put belt to ass when people.
Field goal kicker got hurt.
And all that. That was
field goal kicker got hurt.
Wait a minute. We can say the same thing. We can say the same thing about the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been getting wins last year. You feel the way they've been getting wins was crazy.
They've been to the Super Bowl 3 straight times. You can't say that about them, all right? Because they are proven, all right. They found ways to win. Y'all,
no, I'm talking about specifically last year.
When you're looking at last year, and this is me I've been pretty real on this podcast. Okay. The thing with the Commanders last year, as I said earlier, you got contributions from old players that is not very consistent. Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, Eckler. A Hail Mary against the Bears. Okay? If Malik Neighbors catches that football, we win the game. You have no timeouts. I think you have one timeout.
You catch the ball, don't you?
So there were games. Listen, in 2002, the Giants.
Tell them to get their clutch game up. Tell them to get their clutch game up.
Hold on. In 2022, the Minnesota Vikings had won 13 games with one possession games. The Giants were second with like 11 that year or something like that. Like they had one possession games, whatever the case would be. Like they were second. Okay. It's not sustainable. It is not sustainable. I agree with JC, whereas you can't use the Kansas City Chiefs because they've gone 15-1. They've won their division. They find ways to win on a regular basis. If they were losing or not winning their division or not representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, right? Then at that point, and they won last year and they made it, I could understand your arguable, Simple. I could. But they've won. They've been there 3 straight years. They've been there 3 straight years. So this year, I'll give my rankings. I'm going to say Philly is number 1. They have the best team in the division. That's the way it's going to be. 2, I think it's going to be up for grabs. I'm going to, at this particular point in time, I'm going to say Washington is the second best team in this division. I'm going to put the Giants at 3. Yeah. And I'm going to put Dallas at 4.
Ooh.
Dallas, and it's a hot take, and I've been saying it, Dallas Cowboys will have a top 7 pick in next year's draft. A top 7 pick. They will have their worst season that they've had in a very, very long time. A very, very long time. I don't trust Brian Schottenheimer. I don't think that he's like this great coach, right? And with their defensive coordinator, like, come on, man. Like that defense was nowhere near, even with Zimmer. I think Zimmerman's still there, but like that defense wasn't like that last year.
He's gone. I think Zimmerman is gone. Zimmer's gone.
I don't know who. That's how bad it is. I don't know who's there. So that, to me, you've got a lot of big time players, big names, but you don't got the coaching. And if you want me to think that Brian Schottenheimer is going to have Dak Prescott playing at an all-pro level, making it to the playoffs, I want to know what you smoking, because it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So it's going to be Philly, Commanders, Giants, Dallas. In my opinion, that's what it's going to be.
And that's crazy because that was
I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to be real with you. You may potentially flip-flop Giants and Commanders, potentially, depending on how the season goes.
See about that.
Depending on how the season goes. And I'm only saying that because of the defense. I think we have a better defense.
I definitely do, for sure.
I think we have a better defense,
especially a pass rush
and whatnot. So that's the only thing. We were leading the NFL. We had like 45 sacks over like 8 weeks. I remember going in. I was on here talking to y'all before that game. Like the pass rush going into that game, they would talk about it. It was crazy. That like we were getting 45 sacks in 7 or 8. We were leading the NFL. It was crazy. And that was with just Dexter Lawrence. Tavon was hurt, and it was Brian Burns. We had BJ Ojulari. Or the BJ. Azeez Ojulari. So you got Carter now. You got Golston. You got Dex. You got Alexander. You got Carter. You got Kayvon. You got Burns. It's going to be fun to watch. So that's my order. That's how I got it.
If I do the order to you, I would say for sure the Eagles are going to be number one. I think we will be back-to-back champions. We're the last ones to do it, and we're going to be the first ones to do it again in 20 years. You know, it's no disrespect to the division. I just feel like our team is there. You know what I'm saying? We're a complete football team. You know, we have depth. You know, we have talent. We have great coaches. We have everything you need to do it again. Like you said, it all matters to quarterback play, I feel like, for the other 3 spots, you know. Like last year, I even said to Commanders, watch out for Commanders when everybody was putting Cowboys too. Like, watch out Commanders, because if JD5 really is that guy, they might swoop up and take the second spot, which they did, you know. And I'm back saying that again this year. Like, JD5 going to go through his second year slump. Everybody knows him. How far back is that slump going to take you? You know what I'm saying? You did add some more weapons like Deebo Samuels on the offense, which could be a good or bad thing. You know, Deebo hasn't been playing the greatest. He's been hurt a lot. So he could either do nothing from you because he's hurt the whole season, or he could be, you know, an extra boost in that offense to help you guys out and help JD5 out running the football. So it's hard to say. You know, that Pickens trade with the Cowboys, that was kind of a decent move. You know, they got a number 2 receivers. You know, it just depends his attitude, his move there. Can they control him on and off the field? So I really think it matters. Giants, in order for you guys to leapfrog anybody, I feel like one of those quarterbacks had to come up and show up. Either Russ, Jameis, or Dart. One of them have to, you know, establish the team in the first 5 weeks of the season. Like, you know, this is my team. I'm going to be leading these guys moving forward and put up the effort, you know, that's needed. You guys got one of the best receivers in the Neighbors, straight up. You know, that dude's a beast. He's a baller, you know, and then you got other weapons out there. You guys got, you know, so a couple of running backs. Tracy had a good year last year. That, what his name was, Scambo, whatever the boy name is.
Scatterbo.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys have potential. Slayton's not no slouch. You know what I'm saying? He's not no slouch. He ain't no superstar, but he ain't no slouch to be over there too. So I think it's possible. Like you said, it could be flip or flop between 3 and 4 with the Cowboys and the Giants. But then I do think what Commanders probably will have number 2 again to be like what same as last year. If not, the Giants could leapfrog.
And I've said this, and I believe in a little bit of this too with Russell Wilson, right? He's going to be the starting quarterback. I'm hoping if we don't see Jackson Dart at all, it's because Russell Wilson is playing good football, and the Giants are playing good football. And so when I look at Russell Wilson, when he played against the Niners, when he was with the Seattle Seahawks, he had some good success. He knows how to play. He knows how to play against the Niners. He was just with the Broncos. He knows their system. He knows what Sean Payton want to do. He played against the Raiders. He went up against the Chiefs. He went up against the Chargers. So he's got familiarity the last 2 years playing in that division and doing well. Okay. Last year, y'all Commanders, Russell Wilson came to town and gave y'all a game. Okay, he played good. He was
played well.
He was dotting you guys up. So all I'm just saying is, I think he comes with. I don't think that the teams that we're playing this year. I don't think that Russell Wilson isn't going to be prepared to play against those teams because he has recently. So my hope is that Dart doesn't. I don't care either way. If Dart plays, he plays. If he don't, he don't. If he's not playing, I'm hoping it's because Russell Wilson's playing good, and that means the Giants are doing good. If we see Dart, it means that Russell's not doing good and the team's not doing good. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's what it comes down. It's all going to come down to quarterback. And I mean, as far as my rankings for the division, I probably will put. I'm probably going to put the Commanders up top for now. My gut is saying Commanders, not because I think they're a better team than the Eagles, but just because the best team doesn't even always win the division. And it's just this division doesn't make any sense. Every time I've looked at the Eagles or the Cowboys and said, like, they're the best team in the division, they should repeat, it just never happens. So just because of that, I'm putting the Commanders 1. The Eagles, of course, will be 2. I mean, they could drop a couple games, but they're going to win double-digit games, and I could very well see them being at, like, 11 wins because they just had some type of a slide or something. But playoffs, the Eagles are still going to be the class of the division. Third place is it's a toss-up in my opinion. I mean, the Giants, as someone who's watched the Giants and watched this miserable stuff happen for the last decade, it's like part of me wants to say that we're going to be in last place, but the trenches can change everything. And if the Giants are able to control the trenches this season on the defensive line, and I think the offensive line is much better than a lot of people think. A lot of people think we still have that same line from 2 years ago where we literally can't operate our offense. I mean, Drew Lock with a patchwork Giants offensive line last year, it looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback. So this line is much better. It's not great, but it's about a league average to slightly below league average. And when you got Andrew Thomas out there, I think we're about average. So I think that's a toss-up. But the thing that concerns me about the Commanders is that they were really, really effective with those older players, and on top of that, really, really effective on 4th and 3rd down. And I'm just not sure if they can continue to do that, have that same level of success on 4th down. The Eagles, they have that tush push. They've done it for years, but the Commanders, I mean, they won a ton of games. Like against us, they didn't punt because they kept going for it on 4th down. And it went like 5 or 6 weeks. Y'all can correct me. Y'all went forever without punting. But I'm just not sure how sustainable that is. But
we had 4 games without punting last year.
And that's ridiculous. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think JD5 is the best quarterback in the division. Not the most accomplished. I think he's the best in the division. And that's why I will put them at 1 this year. But other than that, the Eagles are going to be the class once the playoffs start.
Nice, man. Well, hey, man. Salute to all you guys still rocking with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you guys go around and subscribe to all my guys, man. They gave some good insight on the NFC East teams, man. Follow them on all social media platforms. Like I said, hit that like, subscribe. And if you're watching from a different channel, make sure you come over to our channel, hit that like and subscribe, man. Let's get out of here, guys. We're at 2 hours. Let's do our final thoughts and send-offs. Let's get up out of here.
Look, I go first. The MC East is back, man. Like, for real. Like, I mean, look, I like what every team did this offseason, right? I mean, having a quarterback is the number one key, and then building in the trenches. And if this continues in the next year or two, we will be the toughest division, not the AFC North with the Bengals and all that stuff, because Bengals defense is trash. But I mean, I like the way that every team is heading, and we will see, man. Like, we all look good on paper now. The schedule will release tomorrow. Where we play matters. How we play matters. Short week matters. A lot of stuff going to affect how this team go forward, and injuries. But if everybody stay healthy, this should be a close race at the end. I don't see nobody sweeping anybody. So BG, no, I don't see nobody sweeping anybody. But
Ooh.
on a 4-2 in the division somewhere. But this is not going to be an easy division. Like, this not the division from 2 years ago where it's easy win for the Commanders, Giants. Hey, just pencil it in. It's not going to be like that no more. So these teams are closing the gap, but the Philadelphia Eagles is their job to keep, like looking ahead, like 5 steps ahead, and not be complacent because we just won the Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, man, look, we're gonna go as far as our coaching, take us, right? Play calling with the new play calls we do have on the offensive side. So at the end of the day, look, we'll see what happens, man. But this division is back. It's back, and I can't wait.
Let's go R0B. What you guys say before we get out of here? Send them off. Make sure you let them know what's following them on your social media platforms.
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on X, real_R0B, YouTube R0B, Twitch, everything like TikTok R0B. I want to say thanks for having me on. It's amazing to be able to come, still come on, do all this, and be a part of this network. It's where me and Pest got started, and I'd like to, continue that and continue to do that. So I appreciate you having me on, and he's here in spirit as well. I think it's going to be, it's going to be a fun season. As maybe he said in 2022, the season is free. It's a free season. So, free. No expectations or anything like that. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. But there's reason to be optimistic. But I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to be some good games. It's going to be a fun season. And I think we're all, as far as content creators, are going to, enjoy, creating content for these teams, covering these teams, talking about them on a daily, weekly basis. So I appreciate you guys having me on and allowing me to talk and have good conversation. And let's go Big Blue.
All right. Let's go Dig.
Yeah, again, appreciate you for having me on. Again, this season is it's a lot to be excited about as a Giants fan with the team we put out there. I think it's the best actual team, better than maybe some of the playoff teams that we've had that have kind of been fluky the last kind of decade. So I'm excited about that. The division should be fun. I think we should get a lot of classic games that are going to come down to the wire. So that's why I think quarterback is going to be really important this year. And whatever quarterback steps up on these teams are going to be the quarterbacks that separate their teams from the other ones. So, again, appreciate you for bringing me on. And you can find me everywhere, DIGGE546, Twitter, YouTube, everything like that. And appreciate you for bringing me on.
Thank you. Let's go Pro Tech.
Yeah, man.
I might be acting up. I'm trying to get you guys links inside
Our
here.
thoughts, the division is lit again. All 4 of these teams can possibly even win this division. All 4 of us. I think it's going to be a tough division. It's going to be a tough fight for 17 weeks of football, scratching, clawing, and fighting, trying to win this division. This is good. I'm glad this division is back. We're the best division in football, NFC North, what? And AFC West, what? We don't care about none of that. We're the best. We're the NFC beast. We run the NFL. We run this. It's our league. All the other divisions, we don't care about them. They in the way. We run this league. So, shout out to the whole division. We just cousins don't like each other. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait. You can find me at Twitter/X at PSN 042893. You can find me on Instagram at Pro Sports Network _, and you can find me on YouTube at PSN Commanders Network. And yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, Big Simple.
Yeah, yo, man, this division gonna be something, man. It's gonna be something for this year overall. But we're gonna take full advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take full advantage of it. So Yeah, y'all can definitely check me out on all social media. It can be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Big Simple 422. Y'all go ahead, check that out. TikTok, it don't matter. It's just hit me up and we can collab. You feel me? It don't matter. You feel me? I'm here. And guess what? Y'all? Join the crew. It's me and you. Big Simple 422. You know Protect. You know how we do. Let's go.
Let's get it, man.
I love it when he does it. That's just awesome. But hey, it's BG31, man. I'm so happy. Over the years, you meet so many good content creators, and I think people really don't understand. Like, it doesn't matter your subscribers, your view count, none of that. We got genuine people that love their team and love to get on here and talk about their team. Ain't nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? That's why we all started this, is to make sure that we have fun talking about our favorite football team, and we meet some friends along the way, man. I'm happy to say as soon as I hit up all these guys, I had a couple more people that had to, step out for personal reasons. But as soon as I hit up all these guys, they're like, hey, I'm in there. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm down. And I love to have that with you guys, man. I love that. And I know every game that we play this year, I definitely want to get some one-on-one time with you guys on the show for a preview or whatnot, man. And keep doing your thing, man. Keep riding. Keep doing what y'all do, because y'all are some of the best out there, man. So all I got to say about the division is, like you said, the division is back. We've really been back. Even some of the times when they were trying to say we wasn't, we were still there. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to hate, because until you get the rings to really bona fide yourself, you can't really say that you're a better division in football than the NFC East. So we're fans of the best division in football, and I'm proud of that. I got the best team in football. I'm happy and loving being an Eagles fan. It's been great for me. It's been great for me over the last couple of years, man. So, hey, like I always say at the end of my shows, fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.
Raise hell.
And we out.
Go Birds. Going on, everybody, man. And welcome to the very